Alright, so there's a video that I recorded yesterday at the Kyoto Botanical Gardens talking about friendship and how to make friends, how to make close friends. And I think I kind of struggled throughout that video. The talking points were there, but I missed a couple of details. Basically what I said were the best tips are frequency. You gotta meet up often. But then I didn't talk about a point that I wanted to make. It's like sometimes I make these videos where it's like a walk and talk or just one shot take where I talk to the camera and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready because I thought about all these points. But then I don't say them. But one of the points was like, if you want to frequently visit or meet up with people, having the environment, like the example I gave was school, like language school helped get us together like very frequently. And that's like a good way, but it's not as if you're going to go to school again just to meet up frequently with someone. In adult life, it's very difficult to meet up with someone frequently, unless like maybe you go to a weekly class, or even better if you can somehow find like every other day, weeknight class, whatever activity it is. You'll probably have a higher chance of making friends there, where they become closer because you have more chances to see them and talk and interact. But that's like, those are ways where you're kind of looking for an external thing that gives you structure. But I personally think like being the one to create the structure is like the most powerful in a way. Like you have to be the one that's organizing it, as well as the one that's making sure the details are there, the interest is there, like you decide on the activity. It goes hand in hand with the following tip, which was, not the following tip, but the last tip, which was like creating really, really great memories. And oftentimes, or at least for me, in last year in Japan, that's very easy because you go anywhere and it's really, really nice. And there's so many places to visit. But let's say I'm back in California or wherever, honestly. Then I can look for activities like, me and my friends used to do a lot of escape rooms. Those are very memorable. Like just look up a lot of reviews and eventually you'll find one that's really good. Maybe unless you live in the middle of nowhere, but in that case, like maybe the first goal is to move out of there. But from there, yeah, just make it happen. Like hit people up and make it happen. And I think one of the number one things that sucks and can maybe push people to not want to do it again is if like there's a bunch of no-shows. I feel like that's going to happen if you're trying to invite new people that you don't know yet, because they might be untrustworthy, they might be flakes, you don't know. So in order to figure that out, you kind of have to just invite them and see. So it's probably better to know a couple people first, like invite your usual group of friends and then invite new people to that hangout. So those are more like practical tips. And that's how I would approach it. Of course here in Tokyo, well, I'm not in Tokyo, I'm in Kyoto right now, but once I go back to Tokyo, I don't really know the people. I barely met them, right? So there's only been a couple people who have been consistent in terms of like, okay, we made a hangout, like now we're gonna do it, and they show up, so try to invite those people more often, but they're like really busy all the time too. It's kind of difficult to do it frequently, but I can certainly try to make it easier for them since they're the extremely busy ones. I mean, I've been really busy too with the whole YouTube challenge, but the idea is I haven't really been doing that in Tokyo. I haven't really been planning things or events and structures, inviting others and trying to make it happen. I mean, I did it for the juggling video and also the Rubik's Cube video. I mean, Rubik's Cube videos by myself, no, what am I saying? For future videos, actually. But I kind of want to do it more for events, like going out in Tokyo. One of the people I met at a meetup actually managed to do that, like collect friends that they met through the meetup that they've been to and actually do a personal hangout. And I thought that was really cool and commendable because it's kind of hard to do that. I've kind of been a planner, I'd say, most of my life. Starting high school, especially in college, like I was definitely me and my roommate was also a really, really great planner, and I was always thanking him so much for that, because I was like, dude, I know how hard it is to make plans and like make sure everything's detailed, make sure there's interest. It really is a skill, and it's a skill worth building. That's something I did not emphasize much in my video, and I think I wanted to just mention that here. Like the skill of organizing and planning is very much. Oh yeah, and in Kyoto last year in language school, we also had a friend who's very good at it. Two of them actually, two people who are very good at it. And for myself, the only thing I really said for the group and not individual hangouts was the Hiroshima Miyajima trip. Like that was mostly me, so I happily take credit for it, because I made it happen. I was like, hey, this weekend I'm booking the hotels, who's going, here's the group chat. Like, yeah, that's, hopefully you can glean some, I guess, how you can make that work, right, from what I just said. But yeah, try your best to be the planner, because people aren't gonna like reach out to you, unless you're this really amazing personality. But even then, they still might not reach out to you. Everyone has very busy lives. So being the planner and making things happen is like taking that into your own hands, and you have more control of whether or not like you get closer to friends, whether you see friends more frequently, and all that. Okay, that's I stumbled through this video, but that's the point I wanted to make. I'm at the station now. Catch you guys in the next one.